Yeah.
Ooh, it's hot in here. Them lights be hot.
Yes.
I'm gonna roll. It's reason why.
Let's turn on.
That fan has to be set to auto, not on. Sure. It will never cut off. Sure. I'm gonna rock and roll. Okay.
So you raised here out here in Vegas?
I was born here.
Oh, born
Until they moved me to Utah. I lived in San Diego for a month, Reno, and Utah for 3 years.
Wow. When you were a kid, or
As a
how'd you
kid,
get back here?
the foster care system brought me back. They put me in a crazy institution in Utah. It's called CPC Olympus View. And then I got out, met my dad, and that happened. And went right back into Monte Vista out here. Yeah. You're right, I need to add that all in my book, because I only told what I wanted to tell. Because I was protecting him. Like, even in the book, I said a family member.
We are ready. We are rolling. 3, 2.
Hi, this is Jamila J. Welcome to Jamila J Plus Size Revolution. The plus size revolution is about not only your size, but it's your plus size testimony, it's your plus size perspective, it's your plus size life, it's your plus size platform. And today I'd like to welcome our plus size guest, but not really plus size, but you know what I mean, Miss Kenya Young. And she has a profound story of being in the foster care system. Let's just get right into it. Welcome to the show, Kenya.
Thank you for having me.
So when was the first time that what's your first recollection of being in the foster care system?
Well, I went into foster care when I was 5 years old due to being molested by my uncle.
Wow.
And my mother was on crack cocaine.
Where was your father?
He was in prison for burglary.
So was your uncle your caretaker, or?
No, my mother was on drugs, so I would be left at my grandmother's house, and he ended up molesting me.
Wow.
Yes.
So did you tell anybody, or?
I did. The teacher at school.
Okay, so they're mandated reporters.
Yes.
So what happened from there?
Well, they ended up taking me to Child Protective Services, which is Child Haven, and I ended up going to my first foster home.
Do you have siblings? Do you have brothers and sisters?
I do. My mother has 8, and my dad has 4 children.
Are you the youngest, oldest, middle?
From my mother, I am the 4th, and from my father, I am the oldest.
Did your uncle molest any of your other brothers and sisters?
No.
Just you?
Yes.
Wow.
That I know of.
So at the age of 5, you're in foster care?
Yes, I was. I ended up going to my first foster home, which was a Caucasian family. And that was really, really difficult because I never felt accepted and was made fun of because of the color. And so then I ended up going to the next one within 6-month period time, and then the next one. So
you're 5 years old.
Yes.
Were you going from school to school to school, or?
Yes, I was going from school to school because if you move to a different zone and you're with different families, you have to go to different places. So I was constantly moving around, but I ended up back with the white home again when I was 8.
Wow.
So it was kind of like recycling.
So from 5 until 17, you're in foster care?
18.
18.
Yes.
So how many homes were you in?
22 total, but 4 of them included mental institutions.
Wow. How do you survive? How do you mentally, physically as a child survive 22 different homes?
Well, at first I was just surviving. So there's a difference between surviving and overcoming. I literally struggled with self-worth and abandonment issues and having anger outbursts and things like that, to where they even diagnosed me at the age of 15. Wow. So I went through a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
Yes.
When did you go? You talked about 4 mental institutions. When did you go into the mental institution?
So the first one, I was 9 and a half. And then they sent me to Utah around 12, and I stayed there for a few years. And then I got out and experienced a very traumatic experience. My father had raped me at 14. And so I ended up,
Stop. Your father raped you?
Yes.
At 14?
Yes.
So he got out of jail, I assume, and
Yes.
got custody of you?
no, I had got visitation.
Visitation with your
Yes.
father?
Yes. I was
you-
living in a group home, and they allowed me to have visitation after they did the DNA and everything to make sure that he was my biological father, and he was. He ended up taking my virginity at 14.
Did he get arrested? Did you tell the authorities?
I actually went back to the group home, stayed in the shower for about 45 minutes. They knew something wasn't right. They came in and asked me what was wrong, and I ended up telling them what had happened at my grandmother's house. And my grandmother was in the next room, so
Did your grandmother know?
I think she did. And let me explain why. When they found out at the group home, they called my grandmother, and I was talking to my grandmother crying to see if I can get a confession from my dad or whatever. My grandmother got on the phone and actually said, "You're going to send my son back to prison and he's going to kill himself. You need to say that you slept with somebody else on your own."
Wow.
And so I ended up going to what's called Monte Vista Mental Institution here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I went there because I tried to kill myself. I took bottles of pills.
Wait a minute, your grandmother told you that your father would probably kill himself
If he had to
you
go back to
told,
prison.
but you ended up trying to kill yourself.
Yes.
Why?
Because I had to I didn't have to, but I chose to turn around and listen to my grandmother and told the people that I made it up at that age and ended up going into the mental institution and because I took the bottles of pills. So yes.
Did you ever tell the truth about your dad?
Yes, I did.
Did he
by
go
that time,
back to prison?
by that time, evidence and me recanting and going back and forth. And it was really a grooming process because there's more to the story. So it was he literally started to fall in love with me as his daughter.
Okay.
And it happened again. And the older I
When
got.
you fallen in love as a man loves a wife or a woman?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, he loved you that way.
Yes. Not like his daughter. It was
But
very.
it's like a woman.
Yes. So it happened again. And I was a little older.
How old were you then?
I was about 17. But I allowed it. I mean, I let that happen. I knew better, but
Wait a minute. How'd you allow that to happen?
what I mean by that, I'm not taking the blame off of him because he was the adult and I am the child.
Exactly.
But I knew better mentally. Like, I know that you're my
was
dad,
wrong.
that this is wrong.
It was creepy.
But it was like, I want the acceptance of my father. I want you to love me. So go ahead.
Wow.
And also it came along with, I had no place to go. So I ended up jumping up and getting married to a 38-year-old man.
We're going to take a break and we're going to revisit this in just a few moments. We'll be right back.
Claire, that was excellent. Good timing on that too.
Wow.
Didn't brush it on her. She getting good at it. She getting good.
Well, you know what? It's more, it's like, I don't know, like these details, it is more authentic. That's why I kept telling Jessica to stop talking, you know? It's like the less I know, the better I can pull it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, was I talking too much? Sorry.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. I'm talking about when we were driving.
Okay.
And like all last night, she kept telling me, it's like, stop talking about it. This, you know, but this is like real. It's like, you know, that's what it is. That's what I want. This is what I want. Yeah. Wow.